then now this whole P. Diddy thing.
Sometimes you have to tell Diddy no.
Oh, man, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, man.
Sean Diddy Combs' alleged list of accomplices to be revealed soon. The names will shock you, attorney says. Whoa.
I think he's going to sing, I think
he has to sing or he
Bro,
goes
also,
to
I'll
jail
tell
for
you
the
one
rest of his
thing.
life.
Joe Rogan just pulled back the curtain on Diddy's empire, and the names tied to his downfall are even bigger than we thought. This isn't just about one man's crimes. It's about the celebrities who partied with him, defended him, and might have even helped cover for him. And at the top of that list, Jennifer Lopez.
Well, it's just amazing how many people on the Diddy party list that are supporting Kamala. Too.
Yeah, seriously. It's like insane.
Publicly, openly, all in.
Yes. It's like J-Lo was like his ex-girlfriend. and it's like now deciding she's like warning people against Trump. I'm like, well, wait a second. So how many people did she warn against Diddy?
Right.
Oh, 0. Okay.
Let's rewind to 1999. J-Lo and Diddy were Hollywood's ultimate power couple, red carpets, chart-topping collabs, and that iconic green Versace dress that broke the internet. But behind the glitz, a nightclub shooting that changed everything. Gunfire erupted in New York City, a man was injured, and guess who was caught fleeing the scene? J-Lo and Diddy, speeding away in a car with a gun tossed out the window. Here's where it gets messy. Lopez swore under oath that Diddy wasn't involved. She played the loyal girlfriend, testifying to get him off the hook. And it worked. Charges against her were dropped, and Diddy walked free. But the man who did take the fall, his protege, Shine, served 9 years in prison for a crime he claims Diddy committed. Fast forward to today, and Shine singing a different tune. Diddy set me up. He called witnesses against me.
I was defending him, and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me, and he contributed. He pretty much sent me to prison.
So why is J-Lo back in the spotlight? Because if Diddy goes down, every word she said in that courtroom could be re-examined. Did she lie to protect him? And why did she stay with Diddy for 2 more years if she was scared of him? Rogan didn't hold back.
That
I mean,
speech was terrible.
Like if she's going to be warning people, why did she never warn anyone about Diddy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The whole thing is so strange to watch play out.
The truth. Lopez's past with Diddy isn't just a tabloid footnote. It's a legal landmine.
Your car drove by, saw a female hand throwing a gun out of the
Ridiculous.
car.
I don't even
You're the
wanna
only
address
female
it.
in the car. You don't want to talk about
Ridiculous.
it? You very confident that Puffy will be found innocent in this trial?
Yes, I will.
You going to testify?
If they need me.
And if prosecutors dig deeper, she might not get away with Jenny from the block this time. But J-Lo isn't the only A-lister in hot water. Because when Will Smith suddenly started screaming about Diddy on stage, something wasn't adding up. Will Smith doesn't lose his cool. At least, that's what we thought. Until he took the stage in San Diego and completely snapped over the Diddy rumors. In the middle of his comedy set, out of nowhere, he drops this bomb.
I haven't addressed any of this publicly, but I just want to say this very clearly. I don't have shit to do with Puffy, so y'all can stop all the memes. I can stop all of that bullshit. Will adds, I ain't been nowhere near no damn freak off. I do enough of my own shit. Don't be putting me in other people's bullshit. I ain't been nowhere near that man. I ain't did none of that stupid shit.
The crowd went silent. Because here's the thing, nobody even asked him. He brought it up himself. And when someone randomly shouts that aggressively into a microphone, you know they're sweating behind the scenes. But the real question isn't whether Will was at one of Diddy's infamous parties. It's why his son Jaden Smith was so deep in Diddy's world. Jaden and Justin Bieber were basically Diddy's sidekicks during their teen years, private jets, late-night parties, and that creepy viral video where Diddy whispers, "I own you" to a young Bieber. Now, with lawsuits piling up, people are asking, what exactly did Jaden see? And why did Will never step in? Even weirder, Jaguar Wright, the industry insider who's been exposing Diddy's circle, claims Will was involved, but not how you think.
Yeah, no, we gonna pray for Mr. Gray, man. If he needs prayer, I don't even know what's going on.
They're trying to sue him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists.
But if Will Smith is desperate to distance himself, there's one person who can't, no matter how hard he tries. Because Jay-Z's name isn't just floating in Diddy's orbit, it's tied to something much darker. Jay-Z doesn't get exposed. He doesn't do scandals. At least, that's what his flawless PR team wants you to think. Until Piers Morgan suddenly apologized on air for even mentioning his name. Here's what happened. When Jaguar Wright went viral claiming Jay-Z and Beyoncé have hundreds of victims ready to testify, Morgan's team aired the interview and censored. Then, within 48 hours, the segment vanished.
Who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
The re-upload, heavily edited, Jay-Z's lawyers moved fast. But here's what's suspicious. Why shut it down so aggressively if there's nothing to hide? 4 years. Whispers tied Jay-Z and Diddy to the same elite circles, private island parties, undisclosed business deals, and artists mysteriously dropping out of lawsuits. Even more chilling, multiple sources claim Diddy kept insurance files on powerful friends, which might explain why so many are suddenly silent. And Beyoncé, right, insists she's far from innocent. They're a nasty couple. The things they've done to people, it's monstrous.
Everybody else that's left her, oh, she was too this, she was this, she was that. But Diddy said she was perfect.
Maybe she was meant for a medicine.
What happens if you're only perfect for the devil?
But with NDAs thicker than a vault door, proof is nearly impossible to find, unless Diddy flips on them in court. Speaking of flipping, Cuba Gooding Jr. just got accused of something so vile, even Diddy might regret knowing him.
Cuban Gooding Jr. was so close to that man. I would thought that was his lady.
The moment Diddy's producer, Lil Rod, stepped onto that yacht in January 2023, he had no idea he was walking into what he now calls a predator's playground. According to his explosive lawsuit, Cuba Gooding Jr. wasn't just another guest, he was part of the problem. Lil Rod claims Diddy groomed him like an appetizer before allegedly pushing him toward Cuba, who then made aggressive, unwanted advances. The lawsuit details shaking hands that lingered too long, inappropriate touching, and Cuba allegedly whispering, "You know you want this." When Rod refused, he says Cuba kept pressuring him until he physically left the room, terrified. But here's where it gets even darker. This wasn't some random meetup. According to legal documents, Diddy had been preparing Rod for weeks, dropping hints about important industry connections who could change his life. Was this just networking, or something far more sinister?
How do you fully escape it, though? Like your name, for example, was mentioned in the Diddy case.
Which was the most ridiculous thing ever.
Because you barely know
This is the
right?
most ridiculous thing ever. But again, welcome to being a celebrity. Welcome to my...
But then why was he on that yacht at all? And why do multiple sources say Cuba's been a regular at Diddy's parties for years? But if Cuba's name shocked you, wait until you hear about the man who lived with Diddy during his wildest years and might know every secret about to explode in court. If Diddy's empire crumbles, Stevie J might be holding the wrecking ball. This isn't just some random associate. He was Diddy's housemate during Bad Boy's most reckless years, a Grammy-winning producer who saw everything behind closed doors. But the real question isn't just who knew, it's who's about to get caught. And the evidence is more shocking than anyone expected. This isn't just a trial, it's a reckoning. And the first bombshell, prosecutors have confirmed the Cassie Hotel surveillance footage will be shown in court.
He's fighting it, and I mean, he made a post saying that I will fight these allegations, they're all lies and so forth, but then the Cassie Hotel video comes out.
Deplorable.
Now, I've dealt with abusive women in my day.
Me too.
You know, so you can relate to this.
Right.
When a woman attacks you, you try to
do like, you know what I'm saying?
You try to restrain her, or you try to block from getting hit. But there is a line that you don't cross, at least in my life, that you don't become the aggressor. Because at that point, no matter what leads up to it, you're going to be the villain.
Right.
And in this particular case, you saw your man, Puffy, beat her like a man in a hallway. Now, I don't know what happened before, but it kind of doesn't matter.
It don't matter what happened before.
It doesn't matter.
You gotta know how to control yourself and all that.
Now, you talked about this. You said that Diddy was on a lot of drugs when this happened.
Yeah.
And, you know, you said Roger Bonds, you know, you said that, you know, he's not always truthful, but the one thing that he would say was that around this era, Diddy and Cassie would have these binges, these 3-day, 4-day binges in hotel rooms. They would take a lot of drugs and take IVs afterwards. And Puffy was going into rehab during this time and so forth.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
I wasn't around
at
that time.
Okay. Well, but you did say he was on a lot of drugs during that time.
I kind of figured that based off just him having conversations with me about the whole scenario of what
the jury sits. Will they be shown these tapes? 100%.
Will they have to watch it in court? Like during
100% in court in front of a room of people. And so that's the other thing that's awful. They are going to be watching basically for hours on end in front of people. So in front of victim one, whoever it may be, there's going to be played in the federal courtroom.
And victim one would have been made aware of this.
Oh, 100%. She's probably being told right now, like, this is going to be played in open court. Your sex history, your sex life is going to be talked about in open court. All of this.
And presumably then she knows that and she's pushing forward because she hasn't withdrawn.
Don't forget this. It doesn't matter if she does or she doesn't. This isn't a civil case. This is the criminal case. So she could flat out tell the federal government, I don't want to participate. And they can say, we don't care. This is a crime. Crimes are against the United States, not against them. Keep calling her victim one, but don't forget, she's a witness to a crime. So it doesn't matter if she went to them in today and said, I'm not participating. Their response, we don't care.
Not the edited clips that leaked online. The full uncut version. The jury selection process is already weeding out anyone who can't handle the truth.
Prosecutors say Combs turned his significant business interests into a criminal enterprise to plan elaborate sex parties, including drug-fueled marathons where women were coerced into sex and then threatened if they didn't keep quiet. The jury pool filling out a 17-page questionnaire, answering questions about their impartiality amid warnings the evidence is graphic and sexually explicit.
They're not just looking for impartial people, they're looking for those numb to shock value. Because the evidence reportedly includes never-before-seen videos from Diddy's homes, text chains with coded language about parties, financial records showing mysterious payments, and the biggest twist, at least 3 witnesses have secret immunity deals. Translation, someone's flipping. The question is, who talked first?